The Press Box presents CageSide with Christopher James. I'm Christopher James. Coming up this week on the show, we're going to discuss XFC 21, Nick Newell versus Eric Reynolds, title fight next Friday night in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm going to introduce all you folks at home to my co-host, Dion DeLauder from the Florida Combat Network. So stay tuned. CageSide with Christopher James. We'll be right back. CageSide with Christopher James is brought to you by The Press Box and Eric J. Herman, attorney at law. And for stuff you didn't see on today's show, make sure you go to our Facebook page, CageSide with Christopher James, for behind-the-scenes footage and a little bit of blooper stuff. Walter's Press Box, Tampa's #1 sports bar for over 20 years. The Press Box, Tampa's favorite place to watch the big game and party. We show all the NFL games and every other major sporting event in the world, including MMA. (222) South Dale Mabry Highway, Tampa, Florida.
Come on down and see us at the Press Box.
Do you need a criminal attorney? Call Eric J. Herman, attorney at law. Non-attorney spokesperson. Dion DeLauder is the host of the Florida Combat Network, an award-winning radio show on CBS Sports Radio 98.7 The Fan. He also has his own fight promotion, the Florida Combat Challenge, showcasing the best amateur fighters in the state of Florida. So right now, let's meet him, Dion DeLauder. Well, Dion, man, welcome to the show, buddy. Great to have you here with me, man. We're going to do big things here on the show, man. First of all, congratulations on your award, Florida MMA Awards, your show, the Florida Combat Network won, man. How you feel?
Well, it felt great to win the award. As you know, you were there to collect the award for me.
I did. I had to go down there and pick up the trophy for him because somebody forgot to mark the date on his calendar.
I just wasn't able to make it there. I had a lot of things going on. But
no, actually, it was his son's birthday, and the son's birthday party was definitely more. He's 2 years old, right?
2 years old.
2 years old. You can't miss the son's birthday party. Not because the son was going to get mad, because the son wouldn't remember.
It's the wife.
It's the wife. So you guys at home know. So Dion couldn't be there, but since I do work with you on the radio show, I was definitely happy to pick up that award for you. But how does it make you feel with all that hard work since you've been doing the Florida Combat Network?
Well, you know, just the notoriety of being able to be honored, to be recognized by your peers, you know, is a big deal for me. I was just happy to be in the mix of a lot of the people that were nominated. So to take home the win was, it definitely makes you feel better about all the hard work, the late nights, you know, the stuff that I know you're aware of. So it pays off. You know, we're going to keep doing it and keep bringing exciting news for the fight fans out here on the radio, and then of course here on the TV show.
Yeah. Now, by the way, the radio show is on every single Friday night right here, Florida Combat Network on 98.7 The Fan in Tampa Bay. So you can tune in. You can also listen to us on the Florida Combat Network app.
On a mobile app, you can listen to it on the website. You can stream it right from CBS's moniker. Any way you want to listen to it, and I'm sure you'll probably put a link up on the CageSide with Christopher.
Absolutely. It's going to go up there. But your website is FloridaCombatNetwork.com.
Yes, sir.
And you just go right there and you click Listen Live, and Dion and I will be on the show every Friday night, partying, having a good time, talking MMA. And then we get to come here and do TV for you. This is absolutely awesome. But we're going to get right back to it right now. So let's talk about what I want to talk about this week. XFC 21 takes place next Friday night in Nashville, Tennessee, and it's going to be broadcast live on Axis TV Fights, your home for MMA. Now, the opening bout on the card is featuring two guys from North Carolina, and it's a war that people have been looking to see in North Carolina. It's Keith the Rockstar Richardson versus the wild card, Jared Card. Now, the last time we had Keith Richardson in the cage was at XFC 19 Charlotte Showdown. He came in, and in the first round, he dominated his fight. He was hitting, he was striking, he jumped dudes back, choked him out, won the fight, hands down. It was a great performance. And then his opponent, Jared Card, who you know about.
Jared Card's no joke, as we know. Jared just lost his last bout in Jackson with the XFC when he was fighting Marlon Moraes. And Marlon Moraes is tough. He actually, after that fight, fought on the World Series of Fighting, and he beat Miguel Angel Torres, which is an ex-UFC veteran, ex-WEC champion also. So this fight has a lot of potential to be fight of the night. These guys are going to come out and prove something.
And these guys are both North Carolina guys, and I wish this fight was in North Carolina because the people would be going nuts because this is a fight that Carolinas have wanted to see. The next bout on the card is a welterweight bout against Ricky the Sniper Rainey versus Donnie High Intensity Wallace. Now, the last time Ricky Rainey fought for the XFC, he fought Joe Buck Nasty Buck, Johnny Buck Nasty Buck, and he was destroying Buck, man. I mean, he was just pounding him left and right, destroying the whole first round. Round 2 comes up, and he was playing around, dropped his hands, and Ricky Rainey got knocked out. Now, he's coming back to show that he's the real deal, and that's why he's getting another chance with the XFC, because he was so impressive in that first round. He almost had a John Bones Jones look about him. I mean, very, impressive with the striking.
Athletic.
Very athletic. And then there's Donnie Wallace.
Well, Wallace is a great submission wrestler, a great grappler, knows the jiu-jitsu really well. This is going to be your typical grappler versus striker matchup, and we know how that ends up usually. Could be a very interesting night. So
yeah, and Donnie Wallace coming off a win from the XFC in his last event, so he's ready to just keep moving on. He wants a shot at the XFC welterweight title, which apparently is going to be up for grabs here shortly in 2013.
Well, if they can keep it standing, looks good in his favor.
The next bout we're going to talk about is a female bout. It's our feature bout of the night. I love watching the ladies go at it, and the XFC has been known for putting on some of the best female fights anybody's ever seen. So this one is a strawweight fight, Stephanie Egging versus Heather the Hurricane Clark.
Well, Stephanie's a great jiu-jitsu player, great ground game. She comes from Rob Kahn's school. Rob Kahn got a great Gracie Tampa school here in the Tampa Bay area. They teach really solid jiu-jitsu. She's very tough, and anytime the ladies are in the cage, it's a great, exciting fight. Everybody loves to see the ladies fight.
Yeah, no, and Heather Clark is an XFC veteran. Stephanie's making her first appearance with the XFC, but Heather Clark is a tough girl. She lost a tough bout against Mariana Kayfetz a while back, and it was a stoppage because she couldn't see. Now, her eye got all closed up, and nobody knows. I mean, I've looked at the footage 1,000 times, and nobody knows how her eye got all swelled. I mean, it looked like she had this giant hematoma on the side of her face, but they stopped the fight, and she was very upset about that loss. She wants to actually fight Mariana Kayfetz again, but right now Mariana Kayfetz isn't fighting. So Heather Clark is working her way through the women that the XFC throws in front of her, and she trains out of Jackson, out in Albuquerque. She trained with Winkle John and all those guys, and she is the real deal female fighter. She wants to step up and win the XFC strawweight title, and she's got a really good chance at it.
Well, this will be a great test for us. We know Stephanie, like I said, with that strong jiu-jitsu game, is going to be a good matchup for us, and we can't wait to see that one in the cage.
Definitely going to be a great fight. The next bout on the card is the co-main event, and another one in the welterweight division. Now, this one pits two great fighters, Ryan the Tank Engine Thomas and Corey Hill. Both these guys, UFC vets. Ryan Thomas has fought in Bellator. Let's talk about these guys. Corey Hill.
Corey Hill's from Spring Hill, Florida. Tough competitor. He actually coaches a lot of the amateur fighters that fight on our cards for the Florida Combat Challenge. So I've had an opportunity to meet him personally. Conditioning is off the chain, and that's something that he instills in his fighters also. So heavy hands, good conditioning, tough fighter.
He's also got great submissions. He was on The Ultimate Fighter, had that nasty leg break. Nobody thought he was ever going to come back and fight again.
Right.
He's been in the XFC. He's won in the XFC. His last bout at the XFC actually got dropped because his opponent didn't show. So he's looking to get back in the cage. And then there's Ryan Thomas, American Top Team. This guy is a savvy veteran. He's been around. He's got more fights, more experience than Corey Hill. And I'm looking for this one right here. This could possibly, I know we're talking about, Keith Richardson and Jared Carr maybe stealing the show.
Yeah.
But this fight right here has all the potential to really steal the show. And that says a lot because this card is stacked with some really exciting fights. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this one sounds like a true banger, man. It's going to be a good co-main event.
I'm excited to see this one. Now, XFC 21, the main event. History making because it's huge. Notorious Nick Newell versus Eric Reynolds. Now, anytime there's a title fight, it's always history. But this one's special. Notorious Nick Newell is a congenital amputee.
I know he's a warrior. It's amazing to think that he can compete at such a high level. And this is going to be definitely a test for him. Eric Reynolds is a tough competitor. He's kind of a journeyman in the sport. He's fought for some of the local regional promotions companies. He's also fought on some of the bigger promotional companies. He's fought for Bellator. He fought Eddie Alvarez, which, huge name. A lot of big guys in the sport.
He fought Masvidal.
Yeah.
I mean, tough guy.
Yeah, tough guy. And he's well-rounded. He's got great striking, great jiu-jitsu. He's good on standing up, good on his feet. So this is definitely an opportunity for Nick to be able to take his game up to the next level and see, is this guy for real?
Yeah, because Eric can beat you in many different ways, whether he's knocking you out or tapping you out. He's got the full game. He is a well-rounded martial artist. Then there's Nick Newell, the guy who started his career wrestling. And actually, when he first went to his first wrestling practice, he came home from wrestling and said, "I'm never going back," because it was too tough. Yeah. And his mom said, "No, I'm not letting you do that." She made him go back. And because of that, Nick fell in love with wrestling, and all of a sudden, he turned into a mixed martial artist. every time Nick gets in the cage, he proves people wrong. He's won by a heel hook. He's won by a decision. He's won by a brutal knockout of Adam David Mays at the last fight. And
the guy's tough. There's no doubt about it. If you watch any of the video on him, you know Nick's no joke.
yeah, and Nick said, he's coming home with this title. So, CageSide with Christopher James is brought to you by The Press Box and Eric J. Herman, attorney at law. Walter's Press Box, Tampa's #1 sports bar for over 20 years. The Press Box, Tampa's favorite place to watch the big game and party. We show all the NFL games and every other major sporting event in the world, including MMA. (222) South Dale Mabry Highway, Tampa, Florida.
Come on down and see us at the press box.
Do you need a criminal attorney? Call Eric J. Herman, attorney at law. Non-attorney spokesperson.
Well, Chris, you actually talked to both of these guys in an interview, man. I'd love to hear what those guys had to say about their upcoming bout.
Yeah, actually I did. I had a chance to talk with both Eric Reynolds and Nick Newell. So right now we're going to go to the interviews, first with Eric Reynolds and then with Nick Newell. First of all, let me introduce you to this man. This is Eric, It's a Rap Reynolds. Eric, man, how you doing, buddy?
I'm feeling great. It's a couple days before weigh-in, and I'm already on weight. I feel healthy. I feel ready to go.
Do you see any potential problems for you going into this fight? Because your last couple of fights, you had Jonatas Novaes, you had Luciano Dos Santos, the top Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy, the top Muay Thai guy, and you just kind of went right through these guys. So, any problems here?
Well, I don't see him as a problem. He's a high-quality fighter like I am and like my previous opponents. So we're just going to go in there and we're going to play chess. But I'm going to come out on top. It's going to be my night.
Now, Nick Newell's already telling people that he's coming home with this title belt, and he's not even giving you any credit to have a chance in this fight. What do you got to say to that?
Well, that's the mindset he should have, because when it comes time for us to square off, he's going to need all the hope he can get.
Now, Nick's 8-0, legitimate wins. He's doing his thing. He's a congenital amputee. A lot of people love the kid. I got to tell you, I respect the guy. He's got the one hand, and he goes out there and wins fights, and he fully believes that you don't stand a chance. I mean, is that a legitimate thought for him to have? I know you say you got to have confidence in yourself, but really, is that a legitimate thought for that guy to have?
No, he hasn't faced off against somebody like Eric Reynolds before. I'm bringing the full package to the table. I love to stand up and strike. I go for it on the ground, in the air. So if he's ready to go to war, well, my guns are blazing.
All right, well, before I let you go, because I know you got to go do a little weight cut. I know you're close, but you got to do a little weight cut. Is there anything you want to say, any sponsors you want to give a shout out to, any family and friends at home, your little baby, the 1-year-old, 25-pound kid. His kid's 1 year, not even one, he's 25 pounds, and the kid's already in the gym hitting the speed bag, correct?
Yeah, that is correct. He's future champ of the world. But he has a lot of time to go. Until then, I need to get my belt. And XFC, I want to thank you guys. Fist first, born to bang, and I'm a beast. I believe being active in the sport is the way to go. Too much time off is an enemy. By me continuing to go out there and set the standard for the lightweight and the XFC division, it's an honor. And you either gotta run fast or get out or slow down, because I'm going for the top.
Well, that's what I like to hear, man. I love the confidence, man. Great to have you here with us, man. Good luck in your fight on Friday night. For Eric, It's a Rap Reynolds, the XFC, I'm Christopher James. We'll see you soon. And for stuff you didn't see on today's show, make sure you go to our Facebook page, CageSide with Christopher James, for behind-the-scenes footage and a little bit of blooper stuff. Walter's Press Box, Tampa's #1 sports bar for over 20 years. The Press Box, Tampa's favorite place to watch the big game and party. We show all the NFL games and every other major sporting event in the world, including MMA. (222) South Dale Mabry Highway, Tampa, Florida.
Come on down and see us at the press box.
Do you need a criminal attorney? Call Eric J. Herman, attorney at law. Non-attorney spokesperson. So Nick, this is going to be your 4th fight with the XFC, but this is probably the most meaningful one because it's for the lightweight title. So tell us how you got here.
Well, I got here by first off going through the tryout process. They discovered me, and then a couple fights later, I won all my fights after that, and I got invited to fight in the XFC in Tampa last December. And since then, I've gone on a streak. I got submission of the night, fight of the night, and then knockout of the night. And just 3 impressive performances have led me to this title shot.
Now let's talk about the guys you fought. Your first fight, you made your XFC debut, Dennis Hernandez. You came out and threw a nasty, vicious heel hook on the guy, over 1 million hits on YouTube, and you became an internet sensation. So that got the ball rolling. What happened in your life after that?
After that, you know, I started getting more messages from people online, like people with kids that have like similar situations to me, or people that have similar situations to me that are interested in martial arts, not interested in martial arts, doing this, doing that. So that was pretty cool, you know, getting to network and meet all these people. And through a lot of, I've also hooked up with like a lot of charities and stuff, and it's really given me a lot of opportunities to really help other people, which I appreciate.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there right now. You're very inspirational. You know, I've seen some of your videos on your Facebook and on YouTube where you're out there hanging out with some kids and showing them that, you know, even if they have a disability, that they can still achieve things. So everything that's gone on with you as of now, you know, is that the most important thing for you, or is it, you know, making your way to a title fight?
I fight to test myself. I fight because I love it. You know, I just like fighting, man. The title, fighting's like the ice cream sundae, and the title is just the cherry on top, you know. I mean, I'm happy either way, but I'm like very honored that I get to fight for the title, and on December 7th, I'm taking that belt back with me.
Now, you've had, like I said, 3 fights with the XFC, Dennis Hernandez, Chris Coggins, and David Adam Mays. Tell me the toughest fight and why.
It was probably Coggins. I didn't have my best night. I had a bad day, but I was able to pull through and win. You know, he had the choke on me in the 2nd round, and then I came back and, you know, dominated the 3rd round. So, you know, that was a tough fight, but I expect every fight to be like that. And, you know, it was good that I got that adversity out of my way instead of just bulldozing through everyone. It's good to, you know, be on the other side a little bit, as long as you come out a winner.
All right, now you've got Eric Reynolds, who's definitely, based on record and based on performance of who he's fought on his list of fighters, it's got to be the toughest competition for you to date. You're fighting this man for the XFC 155-pound title. How do you feel right now as far as the level of competition you're stepping into? Are you ready?
Yeah, of course I'm ready. I could fight tomorrow if he wanted to. You know, I train hard. They talk about him having more fights than me. Well, guess what? I've had like 350 wrestling matches. I've competed so many times, it's ridiculous. It means nothing to me. I go out there, I'm very comfortable. You want to talk about who he's fought? You know, like, granted, that is a little bit of an advantage, you know, the people he's been in there with. But you got to think about this. I train with all the best guys up in New England, where I am. We all get together and I train with all top level guys. And then I come down here to American Top Team and I train with all the best guys in the world. Like, I know where I am, I know where I stand at, and I'm definitely ready to take out Eric Reynolds.
You know, and it's funny because you mentioned American Top Team down here at Coconut Creek, Florida, the flagship school for American Top Team. I was talking with Ricardo Laborio, and he's telling me that you're doing amazing things down here. You know, and then I'm walking around, I see Hector Lombard, Mike Brown, all these guys are top-notch, top-level, world-class fighters, and you're training with them. What are you learning now?
You know, I don't want to give away anything that could be a part of my game plan or part of what I'm going to do for the fight, but I'm just learning a lot of great stuff, a lot of different things, and I'm just very thankful that they welcome me in and they're helping me out, and along with them and my coach Jeremy Libashevsky and Scott Labrie, Andrew Calandrelli, all those guys, Lou Figueroa helping me with my strength, man. I just have like the best team, and I have like so many great people that care about me. So I'm like a very, very lucky guy to have all these people have my back and just really helping me out and helping me get ready for this fight.
Now, speaking of people who have your back, You mentioned the tryouts earlier when you first were put under the XFC spotlight. And there was a guy there that was training with you that was trying out as well, Ryan Quinn. Now, he moved down to Florida. He's here at American Top Team. Does that give you a little bit of comfort when you see somebody from back home here with you all the time?
Yeah, well, I've known Quinn for, I don't know, like 10 years probably, maybe even longer, through wrestling in high school and everything. And, you know, I was very happy that he got to fight in XFC, and you know, he's a good fighter, and he's a great fighter, and it's just a whole room filled with great fighters. So yeah, it was cool seeing a familiar face. But
now I want to talk about some other guys that I know that you know from up north. First of all, God rest his soul, Abby. You know, you think about him every day now still as you're making your march toward the title?
All the time, man. You know, it should be me fighting for the 155-pound title and him fighting for the 145-pound title. He was a great fighter. That's the reason why he won the tryouts. You know, very talented, but more important than that, he was a great friend, and he was a brother to me. And you know, I miss him every day, and I think about him all the time. And most of the time, it's usually something funny that he would have said or something funny that he did in the past. So when I talk about him now, I smile, and you know, I mean, I miss him every day, but you know, he's just a funny guy, man. There'll never be anyone else like him.
Now, what do you think he would say to you right now as you're making your way into this title fight? What would he look at? Would he say something funny to you, like you said, or would he give you something serious?
I would tell you that he would say something funny, and it would probably be something borderline inappropriate that I can't repeat on this thing, because he was a big brother to me, and you know, big brothers are always talking inappropriate and breaking balls, and that's what we always used to do to each other, and it was just always good times.
Now, there's another guy up at your camp, Jeff Emil Haddad. He's a wild man. I met him at the last tryout we did up at your school. That guy's out of control. He's a 135-pounder. Every time I talk to him, he said he's ready to fight for the XFC. Give me your evaluation.
Jeff Haddad definitely could fight for the XFC. I don't see anyone in the 135-pound division that would be able to beat him. He's got too much heart. He's too skilled. He's too athletic. Excellent wrestler. Great ground defense. You know, awesome ground and pound, and good striking too. I mean, his head kick knockout last year won knockout of the year in the whole Northeast. You know, he's definitely ready for the XFC, and I think they're crazy that they don't even have him on this card yet.
Well, I actually was talking to John Prisco about him, and I'm going to see if I can help push him along because I want to see him fight. You said that there's nobody in the XFC 135 that he can't beat, but then there's a guy like Marlon Moraes, who you saw fight and destroy Jared Card on the same card when you fought Coggins. So this guy's the legit real deal. Do you see that as a good fight, or do you see that as just Haddad walking through?
No one walks through Marlon. He's an excellent fighter, very good fighter, great kickboxer. You know, I mean, he would probably have the advantage standing up against Jeff, but you know, Jeff is just a super good wrestler and just great at top control, and you know, I think that would be a really good fight.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I think that'd be a good fight too. Now, let's get back to you, this title fight. What happens to Nick Newell if and when you win the title?
You know, I don't really look at that. I just kind of enjoy the ride. You know, I'm working hard, and I know I'm gonna win this belt, and I'm definitely not looking past Eric because he's super, super tough, great fighter, but I'm ready to do everything in my power to win this belt, and he's gonna have to kill me if he wants to get that belt. I'll worry about what happens after that, after I win the belt.
Okay, and you say you got the supreme confidence, but let me ask you another question. What happens if you lose, Nick?
You know, that's a part of the sport, you know, and it happens to everyone. But right now, you know, I'm not worried about that. I mean, I'm obviously, you know, anything can happen, but I'm just gonna worry about winning and just do everything in my power to make sure that I don't lose, and do everything in my power to make sure that I do win. So I'm a very positive, optimistic guy. And I always think very positive, and I know the challenge that's ahead of me. It's a very steep challenge, but I'm up for it.
Now, when you first stepped into the XFC, I know you're a confident guy. I remember when we met you at the tryout, there was no shame in your game. You're Nick Newell, you knew who you were. But did you really picture yourself making it where you are right now for this title shot this quickly?
Of course I did, man. What are you, crazy? What do I mean to sit around like, oh geez, I don't know how good I am, like maybe I can't do this? No, that's not how I got anywhere. I got anywhere because I believe in myself, and I believe in my abilities to accomplish great things. And it's not that I just believe it or say it. It's that I go out there every day and I go to practice and I do it. And I work my ass off and I'm grinding every day, getting beat up, you know, going through this. You know, if I spar with someone who's awesome on the ground, I'm taking them to the ground to test myself. You know, I go against someone that's an awesome striker, I'm striking with them. It's just, I just try to pick up as much as I can. And you know, I really have an undying belief in myself, and I think that's one of my greatest weapons.
Yeah, I agree. You are definitely not one that lacks in confidence in who they are and what they can do. So, where do you see yourself 5 years from now in the world of MMA?
I mean, I think I'm going to be one of the best fighters in the world. You know, I mean, I've never been the best at anything I've done, but I've always been that guy that just keeps showing up. You beat me up, you knock me down, I'm up, I'm back, I'm working hard the next day. You know, I'm always trying to learn more, always keeping an open mind, always picking things up. So, you know, in a couple of years, I'm going to be there. And, you know, I feel like I'm decently close right now. And I really feel like I can compete with anyone in the world. I'm not an easy fight for anyone, and there's a lot of guys out there that I can beat that, you know, you would say, oh, Nick doesn't stand a chance or this or that, but I know how good I am, and it's just a matter of time before I show it. December 7th is the first step.
Well, you know, I asked you 5 years in MMA. What about 5 years in your life? Not including MMA. Where do you see Nick Newell?
I don't know. I'd like to maybe move out of my mom's house. That's my first step, and then I'll just do that first, and then I'll go from there. Move out of my mom's house, and then after that, who knows, you know?
I love it. Move out of mom's house. That's a 5-year goal that he's looking to achieve. I like that.
Yeah, maybe sooner than that.
Maybe a little sooner. You win that title, the money starts coming.
She pampers me, so it's kind of hard for me to separate.
Walk away from food and laundry.
Yeah, I got to make them, you know, and then I got to pay bills and this and that, and then I got to start, you know, it's just, I'd rather just, you know, but it's a goal.
Okay, so the XFC, John Prisco, president of the XFC, a lot of faith in you to put you in this title fight. What do you got to say about John Prisco?
Prisco's a cool dude. Prisco, man, he's just a slick dude, man. He's always all jazzed up. He's always got the chest hair showing with the chain. Prisco's Prisco, man. That's all I got to say about that. And you know, I'm very thankful that he gave me this opportunity. And he's just a good guy, and he knows talent when he sees it, and that's why he has a lot of up and comers and you know, established veterans like Eric Reynolds. Just because he's building a nice promotion, and I think XFC is taking over, you know, and I think that this is going to be the biggest show that they've ever had with me versus Reynolds, and I'm honored that I get to be in the main event.
And they're always honored to have you, man. You do a great job for us inside the cage, and more importantly, you do a great job for yourself, MMA, and all your fans. Now, before I let you go, I know you got a lot of training to do. I want to say thank you for taking the time to hang out with us today. We appreciate it. As always, man, I wish you the best of luck in everything you do. This is Nick Newell fighting for the XFC Lightweight title, December 7th, XFC 21 in Nashville, Tennessee, taking on Eric "It's a Rap" Reynolds. For CageSide, I'm Christopher James.
And I'm Big Papa Pump Nick Newell.
So for my good friend Dion DeLauder, I'm Christopher James, and you're CageSide. What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits.